this is Ebonygeek. You're always welcome to join me in expanding your knowledge base. Comments are always welcome, and please subscribe. Hello, and this is Ebonygeek45, and today is a good day to learn something. And what we're going to be touching on today is the setup of our Arduino board. This is the board that we're going to be using. Now, in order to follow along with the tutorials that I'm doing, I would ask that you use this, not this exact board, because this is an inline. If you have the genuine Arduino Uno, great. But at least a version of the Uno. It doesn't, like I said, I showed in the last tutorial where you have the Uno that's got the surface mount instead of this, and that's fine. But we want it to be an Uno so that we're at least on the same page. Okay, now with the setup of the Uno, and I'm trying to zoom in enough so you can see what I'm talking about. My lighting is a little reflective. Okay, so this Uno board is what I'm explaining today, or for this tutorial, for this portion of the tutorial. This silver piece is the jack that you use in order to connect to the USB port. Okay, it also supplies power to the Uno. Okay, trying our best to stay in the shot here. Now, this barrel here is for a power supply, and actually I could show you one. I have a power pack with a jack that fits right in here, and that offers another power source to your Uno. In some cases you need more power than the 5 volts and 3 volts offer, and so then in that case it's good to have power coming into this barrel. Okay, now this is the chip. This is the brains of the Uno also here, and this is what I believe is the AT Tiny type thing. Okay, for you guys who are actually cloning Arduinos, you will know this more than me, but we're going to go from the perspective of the beginner, okay? And so if you have one of these surface mounts here, that's fine. It's just good. I just like having this chip here. I have one with the surface mount, but I just like having this chip here so that if I mess up or something like that, which I have not done as of yet, then I can actually pour this out and put another one in. And I would go and search for the other ones to show you what I mean, but I don't actually know where they are. That's what I mean by I have not had to do this with any of the experimenting, so they're there. That's for more like when I don't want this whole setup. I just want to do some individual type experimenting with just this chip and the AT Tiny. So and that's something that's way ahead of this. So we're just gonna stay with the simple. What is this for, or what's on this board? Okay, and I'm not going to even explain a whole lot of it. What you need to know is this is the reset button. This will reset. Now, the next important part is these pins. So we've already explained the jack that you will plug your computer into the Arduino. Okay, you would just plug that in. As you see, it lit up. It's offering power, and it's also how you upload your code. So, just taking that off for a second. And now you have your pins, and this is how the mechanical electronics components actually speak to the microprocessor, and that you could actually get your programming that you're doing on your laptop or your desktop or whatever have you to speak to this Arduino to do something really good. So you have your pins, and I'm going to try to go through this quickly. I'm not going to explain a whole lot of it, just the main pins that you will be using, which is this row, which is your digital pins, okay? And here, in this section here, is your analog pins. And then here you have some power or more power. You have your VN, and then you have 2 ground pins. Next up, you have your 5-volt pin, and then you have your 3.3-volt pin. So you'll have a choice of either using the 5-volt pin or the 3.3 pin, and that's your power. And those 2 are your grounds. So you have 2 grounds right there, 2 powers right here. I normally use the 5-volt pin, but in a pinch I'll use the 3.3 pin. Okay. Now, then you have your reset pin, and then there's an IOREF pin, and then this is an extra pin that I really don't, it doesn't have a title, I haven't been able to find out what it is. And that's what you'll find in some of these clone type Unos, is they'll give you an extra pin, and I have yet to even bother with them or figure out what they do. So, coming over to the next side here, again, you have your reset right there, your little reset button. And then you have on this side is actually 2 other pins that has no title. It's just like 2 blank pins. And like I said, just like this one, I really have not messed with them. I don't really know what they're for. So then on this 3rd pin is your AREF. Your 4th pin is your ground pin. Then you have your 5th pin here, which is actually your pin 13. Now this pin 13 is rather important because it's going to be how we do our first Hello World program. We're going to pin into 13. Pin 13 actually has a resistor built into it. So when our first hello program is going to be with an LED. And pin 13, we're not going to have to actually plug in a resistor to it. So this one is kind of special. It's set up so that you could experiment with your first program really quickly. We will be getting into that momentarily. After your pin 13, along this rail is your digital pins. Your first one is your RX0. Your second one is your TX1. We're not really going to be messing with those 2 for our first sets of, or while we're getting to know the Arduino and actually working with the Arduino. So we're not going to be messing with the first 2 pins here on this side. The rest of the pins, your 2 through 7, which is actually the 3rd pin, because this one starts with a lot of things in the computer language. This first one is your 0 pin. Second one is your 1 pin. Your 3rd one is where your digital pins is going to start all the way to your 13th pin. Okay, and so that's your digital side. Then you have your analog rail, and that's on this side. And your analog rail is on this side from here to here. It's actually this portion of the pins, and it's actually got its own separate header right here. Okay. trying to stay in the shot though. And then, of course, we already explained this rail. Now, you could get more detailed information if you would like by pulling up a spec sheet of the Uno or going on the Arduino site and actually looking up what each of these little components on here are. This is a crystal. Without going into this too much, because the inland version, which is this one here, has a different setup. The make version, which is another one that I have. Then the ones with the surface mounts. So I'm not going to go into all of the makeup of these Arduinos, just that the pins should all be the same. You should have this silver piece for your uploading and power to the Uno. You should have this black barrel for more power to the Uno. You should have this reset button. That's what we need, and that's what, as long as you have those, you should be able to follow through with the tutorial. And with that said, and hopefully I explained it, and if you didn't understand what I did say, keep following along with the tutorials, because once we really start pinning and coding and getting little neat little programs and electronics to work, then you will understand what each and every pin do and what they're set up for. I believe my next tutorial is gonna be explaining analog and digital, which the digital pins are on this side and the analog pin is this little rail right here, and we'll be explaining that. So with that said, I'm going to say that today was a good day for coding. If you are unclear with the things that I'm saying, just make sure to continue with the tutorial, and it'll start coming to you suddenly as you realize what I'm talking about. And just hang in there. I assure you, pretty soon it'll all start coming together. So have a great rest of your day. Happy tinkering and happy coding. Bye-bye. I am Ebonygeek, and I hope that the information provided has been helpful to you. Please remember to subscribe. Happy building and happy coding.